Canfin Homes, that's the one which has been in the news of late. Suresh S Iyer, the MD and CEO at Canfin Homes, joins in on the show right now. Suresh, hi, morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining in today. I mean, help us understand all the market speculation that is going on. Could you go on record to clarify whether there was any fraud which was detected after the one in Ambala and address all these rumors all for once?
See, there's no major fraud or anything which has been detected. It has been business as usual for us. And we have been focusing on recovery and probably some rumors about some efforts on recovery which have been probably highlighted or something. So there is no major event which has happened which is out of place from the regular business that is normally happens in a housing finance company. So there's nothing major that needs to be we need to worry about.
Have you recovered? I mean, it ultimately comes down to the number which you've recovered.
No, there is no. If you're talking about the Ambala issue, that well, it will take time because it's a large value. It has gone to CBI. We have made an application to CBI as well. And right now, the main accused is in the custody, and all those will take a little time. But other than that, it's a regular, business as usual. We have been facing a little problem in the restructured book, which has been coming out, which we have been highlighting to the investors in the last 2 quarters itself. So that's the only area where we see a little bit of concern in terms of the, recovery coming from the restructured book, which is coming out. We have about 15% of the restructured book, which has been going into default. Which is somewhat in line with what the markets have experienced in the past also about whenever the portfolio has come out of restructuring. So that's the only concern we have in terms of that.
Material findings so far amidst all your checks that you may have concluded?
See, in terms of the checks we have concluded, we are strengthening the processes. So whatever is there, there are regular routine, hygiene issues, which we have been getting improved. Other than that, that's not much that is to talk about.
When you say that there is a problem with the restructuring book, what is the problem? I mean, home loans are supposed to be the safest. It's very simple model. You give 80% loan and 20% is something which adds up to your collateral benefit. So what is the problem?
See, the issue is that these restructured accounts are those accounts where we had to give some benefit at the time because of the COVID impact. And the government had announced an up to 24-month benefit that can be given. So what our customers, which is just about 2% of our book, basically 676 crores to be precise, which is about 2% of our book, where customers opted for this restructuring. And 24 months, there was a moratorium in terms of their repayment. So the interest that has accrued during this period has been capitalized. Now, the problem here is that when the customers opted for a restructuring, that was 2 years back, the interest rates were at the lowest. And their whatever was the principal, this 2 years of restructuring or this 2 years of moratorium, the interest has been capitalized, so the principal outstanding has gone up. And now that the customers are coming out of restructuring, the interest is at its peak. So there is a double whammy for these customers where the principal outstanding has also gone up, as well as the rate of interest at which now they have to service has also gone up. So the EMI, which was there prior to them opting for restructuring, has now gone up by almost 20%, 25% from the original levels. So that is where the customers, some of them who are still not completely come out of their COVID problems, are still facing problems. That's the main issue. Otherwise, in terms of the security, in terms of this, it is there. And we do have an option where we can go for SARFAESI actions for these customers. We can acquire the properties, but that itself takes about 6 to 12 months time for an account to completely come out of it. We have to give a notice. We have to give a period of 60 days for the customers and so on.
So if I look at your quarterly disbursements, 2,500 has become 2,000. Is that a cyclicality at play or this is a conscious effect to slow down the book?
There is no conscious effort, but yes, there is an impact of all the process improvements and these modifications that we have been doing post this Ambala incident. There have been, obviously, these have slightly impacted our business, but it is again process improvements which are there. So in the long run, this will definitely help. And maybe a quarter or two, we may have to face the brunt of this changes. But once we get accustomed to it, from there, it'll again start picking up and it'll be a better quality because the process improvements will always help.
Right. All right, good to have you on board. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining in, giving us a perspective as to how the business is shaping up. That's the management of Canfin Homes.